Kyrie is back, at least part-time, and the results so far have been a bit mixed. With a 2-2 record, the Nets have to not only deal with the schizophrenic lineup changes depending on where they're playing, but the massive loss of Kevin Durant in the short term due to a knee injury. So let's look at how Brooklyn has been incorporating Irving into their offense. At first glance, he's clearly helping the offense based on his on-off numbers. And with the Nets having to dig deep to fill out their roster this year, it makes sense that having a wizard on offense will drastically improve their ability to put the ball in the basket. While KD is out for several weeks, it's still worth examining how they've been working together, since it will have ramifications for the playoffs. In this set, Kyrie is the point guard and Durant comes off a screen from the center, leaving his man trailing slightly. The slip ball screen for Kyrie is supposed to distract KD's man even more, so that when he splits in the catch here, he can get right to the hoop with a clear runway for the dunk. The simple right block post-up by Durant is a defense's nightmare, and they're smart to have Kyrie enter the ball in the post and lure help off of him from one pass away. If this happens, it's a guaranteed open shot. Another smart move is to set a ball screen with these two to force a switch so Durant can have an even bigger mismatch down low. Doubling from one pass away is a foolish defensive strategy, and Kyrie demonstrates why. They don't need Kyrie feeding the post to KD, as they use sharpshooter Patty Mills as a feeder. Watch what this triggers. Bembry cuts through the lane, which forces Irving's man to pick him up. Now it's a 2-on-1 on the right side, and if you give Kyrie this type of advantage, especially with Blake pulling the center away from the rim, it's a strong layup. With Durant at point, it will surely lure double teams on the perimeter, especially in end-of-quarter scenarios. And with the offense forcing the defense into full scramble mode, it makes Kyrie's life a lot easier to find open shots. Let's look at how the Big Three can operate using Kyrie as a hub. Notice how he's the first of a double ball screen for KD. This draws two defenders to him, leaving Kyrie open in the flat. By having Harden on the right side, it puts Lonzo Ball in an impossible position. Rotate to Kyrie or stay at home on Harden. He does neither, and it's an open corner three. Even in transition, you can see how KD will attract two defenders, and this gives us a glimpse into Kyrie's vision with a great one-touch bounce to Harden, who promptly blows the layup, indicating how much he's struggled this year. But that's another video for another time. Here's a set I really like out of the delay option of the 21 series. Mills sets the flare screen for Kyrie. This could easily be a pass to him in the right corner for a shot or a drive. This progresses into a handoff, and on the weak side a pin down for KD. You can see how this could create a dunk for Blake, or force Kyrie's man to rotate all the way over and open up a three-point shot for Kyrie in the right corner. I always like pistol action when there's a pin down into a handoff, and the Nets find this action out top as Harden sets a screen for Kyrie, creating confusion on the switch. This gives Kyrie all sorts of room to come around the corner for a wide open mid-range jumper. Here's that same action, but this time it slides over to the left wing as a high post split. Harden's gravity again causes confusion on the switch. Allen steps up, leaving the rim exposed on a nice dime and easy dunk. With Kyrie in the lineup, everyone will get better looks at the basket, since he can rack up points so darn easily. And you can rack up points just as easily by using the Fetch Rewards app. As quick as a Kyrie crossover, you scan a receipt of a product you've already bought and earn points from Fetch that translate into gift cards from places like Amazon or an incredibly long list of brands like these. It doesn't matter where the receipt is from. Heck, it could be a digital receipt too. And in a matter of seconds, you earn points, and pretty soon you'll be redeeming those for more awesome stuff. Use my code BBALL and you'll get 3,000 points when you scan your first receipt. Then browse the rewards section. Plenty of options for your basketball and fitness needs. Once you realize how easy it is, you'll be pouring in points from all over the court like Kyrie does. With my code BBALL and those bonus 3,000 points, Fetch Rewards will be the best point guard you've ever played with. Whenever you can get two of your stars involved in the same action, that's a good thing. And here, Kyrie sets the ball screen for Harden. While the defense wants to hedge here, it becomes a double team, allowing Kyrie to pop to the wing, and despite a double pin down happening almost on top of him, the advantage Irving got on the catch was so great, it doesn't matter. Here's another Harden ball screen for Kyrie, while using Patty Mills to stretch the defense away to the weak side. Because it's Harden, they won't drop his man down to help contain Kyrie. giving Kyrie a runway to reject the screen to the basket. Notice how this creates a 2-on-1 on the weak side if Irving wants it, but instead shoots the tough pull-up bank shot. Another set that really caught my eye starts out with a double pin down for Mills on the right side. This will draw a lot of the defense's focus since he's such a great shooter, but this flows into a quick handoff and the option of using the Aldridge ball screen to the right. However, the secondary action is a pass back to Mills, who can dribble right at Durant in the corner. KD fakes getting the handoff and gets the backdoor cut wide open, but Mills gets fouled. The Nets also understand how to use Kyrie's gravity to benefit others. On this pick and roll, it's normally Kyrie's man who's supposed to bump down to the roll man. Instead, he won't leave and it leads to a layup. Same exact concept here as Levine stays home on Kyrie, afraid to leave him open, but it leaves the roller all by himself to get the easy lob. One more example of his gravity is this out of bounds play. Watch how KD's man isn't going to leave him on the back screen for Kyrie, which is why he's setting the screen. The defense has no choice but to rotate Aldridge's man down to protect the basket, and it leads right to the assist for Kyrie on the wide open mid-range shot. While it might seem that the offense is humming along nicely with lots of player-involved movement, the reality is that a lot of the time, it devolves into a series of multi-dribble stagnant isolation plays that lead to incredibly tough shots. It makes it hard to criticize an offense when it's ranked as high as 8th in offensive rating this season. And over the past 5 games, they're ranked 1st. So I guess my problem is merely aesthetic. As a coach, I prefer when the team operates like 5 fingers on a hand, helping each other with an orchestrated ballet of movement that leads to an easy shot, instead of the completely stagnant, one-on-one, 8 dribble in place while everyone stands around and watches ISO that inevitably gets them a crazy tough shot, which they hit more often than not. Between Harden, Durant, and Kyrie, they've got 3 of the best at this type of thing. So I don't blame head coach Steve Nash for going with what works. If you look at the amount of time the Nets isolate, they're so far ahead of the field that you'd have to jump 12 places to find that big a gap after the second place team. And in terms of average distance traveled per player, the Nets rank dead last in the NBA. And if we look at average speed on offense, they rank 27th, indicating a lot of standing around watching the individual brilliance of their big 3. I don't want to be a wet blanket here, but I do worry that come playoff time, after the first round, they could struggle mightily to knock down shots like these as they did in the regular season. And with a completely mediocre defense on the other side of the ball, it's possible that a deep run in the playoffs isn't in their future.